Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. Now, last night when I was streaming, I luckily enough came across a setup that actually appears to fix some of the over-exaggeration from throttle pickup. Now, last night, if you didn't see the stream, a quick rundown, I was getting a bit frustrated with the game. I was getting to the point where I started to realize I don't really like the physics again this year, and they were just not really for me, and I was kind of getting frustrated and I was making mistakes and I was getting annoyed. So as at a complete whim and completely just out of the blue, I went into the engineer before an online race and I just kept saying to him, the bike is understeering on corner entry, it's understeering mid-corner, it's understeering on corner exit. Hit that, went away, did a race, and I was riding as, I believe, Mayor at Misano, and I started to notice, geez, this actually feels a bit better. Now, in my head, I thought it was me riding the Honda for the first time, but it actually was a setup because I tried it on other bikes. Now, what today's video is going to be, later in the video I will show you this setup, but I'm going to go to Sachsenring as the king of the ring, Marc Marquez. I'm going to do a couple of laps on the base setup, then I'm going to put on this new setup I have found and compare them back to back. Now, I did this last night on my stream at Jerez, and you could visibly see I can pick up the throttle earlier and the bike turns more well on throttle, so it looks like a massive win-win. Surely at a track like Sachsenring it will be pretty obvious. Now, the only thing about Sachsenring, you're not at full throttle, which is where the big issue is, so maybe it won't be as evident. So if it doesn't really work, we might try a different track, but I'm fairly sure we'll be able to show it off quite well here at Sachsenring. But yeah, I'm going to show the setup later in the video, but we're going to just jump on track now and just see, can I show you? I'll also have my controller overlay on, so let's get over to Germany. So I'm just going to do about 3 laps with the stock setting, and I'm going to see what my best lap is, and then we're going to switch to the new setup I found. I'm going to keep same tires, same electronics, make sure everything is as equal as possible bar the actual setup, and just see, does it actually do what I'm thinking it does, or was last night just a fever dream? So I crashed on my previous lap, but I was way under, so we're going to go for the third and final lap. To be fair, right, I'll give the game credit, it doesn't feel too bad at this track, but I must say I'm really hoping when I put on this setup it does feel better, because a lot of this track you are on partial throttle, which means it doesn't really affect the gyro doesn't come into too much. Like through Omega here, we're just really rolling it through, but as soon as you want to pick the bike up and square it off, it will run really wide, so you can see it all the way out to the white line there. Again here, a lot of this is just kind of 30% throttle. You can probably see by my controller overlay on the left. Through here as well, you can't really spin it like Mark would in his pomp, and you're just waiting for the bike to straighten up through there. I must say it actually doesn't feel as bad, and I think it's because you're not using full throttle, it doesn't feel too bad. Get to the top of the waterfall, try and open it up as best as possible. Mistake there. Again, you see we just pick up the throttle there and the bike just understeered off the track. Now I'm going to count this lap still, even though it's not going to be ideal because of the invalidation, but it was a 19.8. Now I'm going to stick on the other setup, and I guarantee I'll be doing low 19s. That's the guarantee. So exact same ECU settings, exact same tires. We're going to see now, is there much of a difference? I believe there will be. A bit deep into one, that'll be okay. I should be able to turn it with the throttle a bit better still. Yeah, immediately I can feel the difference. Completely just outdoes the actual base game physics. It's really weird. Now, it's so different. It takes a minute for me to get up to speed with it. It's actually slightly like off-putting. It feels completely different. You can see we're already 0.6 under. This has been a much nicer lap because the bike naturally just wants to pivot in, and when I pick the throttle it doesn't want to understeer as much. Now it still has the base generic physics to the game in some aspect. I can't really go too much with it, but we're nicely under here. Let's see what we can get it to the line. I can just use more throttle, which is just more power and pretty much free lap time. And at the moment I cannot see any drawbacks to this setting. Like, look how much more road I could use there on that exit there. Try not make the mistake here in Saxon curve. Out of the final 2 corners we come. If that was the other setup, I would have ran off track. I actually thought I was going to. That just shows how the bike kind of straightens itself up nicely for you. Up to the line, it's going to be... I said we're going to do a low 19. First lap's a 19.1, so we're going to go again. I definitely think I can do an 18. Just shows how much nicer the bike becomes. I've done this on the Yamaha, I've done it on the Honda, and I've done it on the Ducati, so it shows that nearly all bikes kind of apply to it, really. You know, I haven't done it with the lower classes, and that'll be something I'll leave for you guys to try. You can let me know if it works in it, because I don't ride the Moto 3 bikes in career mode. I've gone straight to Moto 2. See, already we're just ahead of Marcus again. So I will show the setup here in a second. Now, it's quite funny how I came across it, because I never use the guided setup function at all. I make all my own setups on GP bikes and all games, so I was kind of just getting frustrated with the game. Oh, that should have been a crash, and just kind of started pissing around by using the guided setup, and for once it's actually giving me a damn good setup. So the bike feels so much nicer now, and it's just the throttle, it just changes the throttle input so much. Another quarter of a second under here. If we can get it to the line, I'll be happy. That would be a 18. I don't think that's a very good lap around here. I think the top eyes are only 14s, but I've done very little time on this game on the GP class. Into the final corner. Up to the line. It's a mid 18, so come on, like 1.3 seconds quicker. You cannot argue that this isn't working. Like, it makes such a difference. And like, fair enough, I've done 4 laps. 5 including the one I already crashed on lap 2 technically. You didn't see that, but the fact has changed that much. Now, I really hope that everyone else can ride like this, or have the same feeling I get with this setup. I hope it's not just me, but I'm going to go to the engineer. I'm just going to show it off now. So pretty much what it's done, what I did to do it, actually, what I actually said to the engineer was, I went into corner entry, went precision, understeering, and that, accepted that one. I went to on corners, precision, understeer. Basically keep telling him everywhere the bike is understeering, and that as well. And this is the actual setup he's given me. So from preload, he's dropped it, so the front of the bike is a bit lower. He's increased the front spring, the front stiffer spring, or he's lowered the front fork compression and the extension. The big thing I've noticed, he softened the rear. Now, I tried this myself using my own brain to try and figure out how to make a better setup and try and get the bike to turn, and it didn't work. So it's quite weird. So try this setup out and see what it does to you, but it seems like, to me, it just makes the game so much better. But for whatever reason, when I tried to make a setup myself, it didn't really work. He has also played with the geometry, I believe. So yeah, lengthened the rear swing arm. The steering plate position has been decreased by 1, and the trail and the steering head inclination haven't been adjusted. Now, braking and all that, that's kind of your own business. Everyone has a different feeling with that. And at the moment, it looks like a low traction 1 or 2 is the kind of way to go. Just because, again, with the picking up the throttle, making the bike understeer, you kind of want as very little anti-cut in, so that the bike kind of just steps out, just so you can kind of pivot it with the rear. It's quite hard to do, but at the moment, that's kind of what we're trying to do. But I'll just, for the final time, show the setup again. That is it. You can pause it there and try it out for yourself. I really hope this helps you as well, because it's made the game so much more enjoyable for me. The bikes are just so much more easy to ride. I can't really describe how much I felt last night. It was like the game had been changed, because I was really getting frustrated on the stream. If anyone were watching, they would see I was getting very kind of just pissed off with the game, and the fact that every time you got on the throttle, the bike would run wide. I was just making so many mistakes, and just by this chance, I just said, Charles, try to guide an engineer. What would he know? And then I get this gift of a setup sent out to me. So it shows that this year's setups are pretty crucial. Someone said in the stream as well last night that it could be that the base setup is just terrible, which is probably very accurate. So maybe setups this year will be a key thing. Now, I will do a lot more work on setups, and there will be definitely more videos on setups in the future. But I just found this one last night, so I want to get it out just to improve everyone's comfort level, and hope it works for you. So I'm going to end it here. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you did, drop a like, share it down below, because there's as many people as you out there that are having these feelings of the throttle being too much of an overkill for the enjoyment. So try and share this around and get as many people to see it, just so I can help as many people as possible. But if you did enjoy, drop a like, subscribe, all that, and I shall catch you in the next video. Thank you for watching. See you soon.